The show off. The show for people who want to find out who they are, then do it on purpose. And here is your host, Janine Coombs.
Hello and welcome to the show off. Georgia Williams. Georgia, also known as G, is an award-nominated content creator and Canva designer. Her podcast, Content with G, inspires listeners to embrace their own authenticity and stand out through content creation. G is on a mission to help business owners create social media content with more joy and show up exactly as they are, both online and offline. G, you are on brand for this show and for me.
Yes.
The joy, the authenticity, the being yourself and doing it on purpose and all that. It's just perfect.
Absolutely.
Love it.
I'm with you.
Yeah. It's funny, you put your thoughts out there, your values or whatever, and then you know, the reticular activating system kicks in and you find other people like yourself. So let's have a potted history of how you got to be doing what you're doing today, because you look like you're enjoying yourself, which is good.
Having a great time. 5 years in, having a grand time. I feel like I'm sometimes a cat that's lived like 9 lives to get to this journey. Oh, I use that cliche word, the journey that we're on. I feel like I've done sort of everything before I landed on marketing. I actually had a couple of jobs in retail, and my husband once said to me, like, are you going to get a career? And I was like, retail is a career, you know, but he obviously meant in an office, basically. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to get a job in an office. But actually, I'm now in an office, just not in the same kind of office he was suggesting. But yeah, I feel like I've just settled on it through exploration and bad jobs, good jobs, all sorts of jobs, and then kind of come back to marketing.
Yeah. Well, it is a very open discipline, shall we say. Like I used to be in corporate marketing, and to be honest with you, it wasn't very creative at all. Not very creative at all. So if you're more of a project planner or an analytical person, there's jobs in marketing. Or if you're a really creative person, there's jobs in marketing. So it's very flexible, isn't it? There's something for everyone.
There is.
Nearly.
Absolutely.
Nearly.
Well, or just create something. If there isn't, just create something new for yourself.
Yeah. So I get this sense that you're not afraid to test and try and change and swap. Has that always been the case?
Yeah, I think I do like security and I do like the knowing that it's going to work. But actually, I realized, I think it was about 5.5 years ago now, I worked in marketing, I worked for an agency, and I just loved the job so much. I've always worked in social media marketing, that's that side of marketing. And I was working there and I was like, this is the best job I've ever had in my life. Like, you know, didn't even pay that great, but I didn't care because I just loved it so much. And I was commuting for an hour, I had a small child. It couldn't have been further from perfect on paper, but I just felt like I loved it. And then the pandemic hits and we all got made redundant. And I was just like, actually, nothing is secure. I always thought that job was really secure because the marketing agency was hitting targets. We were doing great. We were growing. There was no kind of panic from the powers that be above. And I was just like, yeah, my job's safe. Great. And then uncertainty, like a global pandemic, you know, that'll obviously do it, won't it? A global epidemic kind of comes along and you're like, okay. And I think it just really put it into perspective that like nothing is actually rooted and grounded unless you decide it to be. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Let's just see what can happen, you know, and then obviously went into the freelancing world, and freelancing isn't secure, but I love that part of it as well, even though it's crazy sometimes.
Yeah. So tell me more about that transition. So you were working in an agency, the pandemic hit, what, you were made redundant, were you? Or
yeah, so it was put on furlough for a couple of months. And I think that was generally like what everyone did. They were just like, furlough's available. Let's just go on furlough while we figure everything out. So I was on furlough. My little girl was, oh my gosh, 2 or 3. Yeah, something like that. And that was obviously fun for me, not. So I was at home being a parent and trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life. I actually just started doodling stuff in Canva because I've always used Canva for about 10 years now. And I was like, yep, that's my happy place. Let's go back just doing bits and pieces in Canva, set up an Etsy shop on the side like you do, like nothing else you've got to do. And that was called Ray of Social. My Etsy store was called Ray of Social, which is the name of my business. And at the time I was like, oh, I don't really know what to call it, but this sounds like a great name. I'm just going to have an Etsy store, make a couple of pounds. Didn't really make anything at all. It just kind of transitioned from there really organically.
Yeah. Oh, very good. And now you're a Canvassador.
Canvassador! You have to say it like that. Come on, say it with me. Canvassador!
Wow.
Yeah, because otherwise it just sounds...
you are a professional singer.
Yes, that is a string to the bow as
so
well.
Where did that fit in?
Singing is just, I always say I was born singing, because I don't remember a time in my life where I wasn't singing or wasn't a singer or wasn't part of a musical family. So it's hard to say, oh, that's when it began. At birth, it began pretty much. But I would say I probably didn't really focus on it all of my life. I went through phases of loving being a singer, actually hating being able to sing as well through my childhood a little bit, and then coming full circle to embracing it as well.
Yeah. This is interesting to me, because you mentioned that you come from a musical family.
Mm-hmm.
So were you encouraged to perform and to sing and to be creative, or?
Encouraged to be creative, maybe not encouraged to perform, just because it was more of a religious setting. So I guess performance wasn't included in that creativity. It was more, you can express yourself and you can sing, but it was more in a kind of a Christian setting. I guess performance is not the right word. I think if it was in a more secular setting, performance might have been encouraged, but it was very much like, you can be creative but be humble and don't get too big for your boots, so I was like, okay. But I actually, when I just said I didn't enjoy being a singer, it was mainly when I was 6, 7, that kind of age, and a little bit above. Lots of people that were my friends took it really weird, and it was not celebrated. So if I was singing, it was, oh, she's singing again, who does she think she is, and oh, she's off again, and oh yeah, she always gets all the solos. And that impacted me so much, even though at the time I wouldn't have said it was like a bullying moment. Looking back, it did feel like that, and it really dented confidence and made me sort of retreat and just go, actually, I don't know whether I want to be a singer, is that my path? And it made me reconsider stuff. But I did come full circle and enjoy singing. I love singing, and it is encouraged in my family now, and things have changed a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not the most professional singer, but I enjoy singing and I can hold a tune. And I didn't sing in front of other people until I was 30.
Wow. Gosh.
Because I was told to stop showing off, and exactly as you expressed. I don't remember friends saying, or this feeling of who does she think she is, but it was just, you could feel it.
Yeah.
You could just, you knew that you weren't meant to show off. Like, showing off was the worst thing.
Oh yeah.
One of the worst. Don't boast.
Yeah.
Don't boast. Don't show off. Don't go on about yourself too much. Don't take up too much of the limelight. I used to learn badly. I was really bad at guitar, but in primary school I had lessons for a couple of years, and I'd play the guitar and be like showing off my skills, and then it'd be like, yeah, move over, let your sister have a go. And I was like, well, she hasn't had any. She can't play the guitar. Why is she having a go? Like, she's rubbish.
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? It's so strange, because I think then, looking at what I do now, if you've told me like that I would be willing to put myself out there, do like public speaking bits and pieces, do teaching, do social media content that's very like in your face and loud, I'd have been like, no, that's not allowed. Oh no, we can't show up like that, because it's just so ingrained in me that if you wanted to perform and show off your skills, then you were up yourself and you weren't humble, and like, oh no, you had a bad personality. And it's such a stigma, I think, that I was given, and other people are given at this time as well, that don't show off too much, just a little bit of magic, but not too much.
Yeah, a little bit of magic. Why would you only want a little bit of magic?
I know.
Is it? If you've got all the magic,
exactly.
You want magic. So where did the change come then? Because obviously you are here, and it is a journey. Was it very, very gradual, or was there a moment, or what happened?
I'd like to say that it's a 3-step process that I could recommend, but it's absolutely not. It involves probably a lot of trauma, a lot of years experience, and just a lot of like inner searching, which I know is like another one of those cliches, but that is really what it is. Just being really sure of actually, who am I? Why do I want to show off this side of me? What are my intentions? Are they pure? Do I actually just want fame? Because I still think that's okay. And some people genuinely just want fame, and that's okay. Then when they get the fame, they then might reassess, oh, actually, what does that mean for me? But it's a lesson they've got to learn. So I wouldn't ever say, oh, you can't be fame hungry or you can't be a celeb in your world. Absolutely, if that's what you want to figure out. But I think it's about really knowing, like, what does that serve? What is the purpose of me putting great content out? I don't see it as I'm all singing, all dancing, like in your face, like, hello, rah. I just see it as this is a way to communicate, to help people find my services, hopefully buy my services and see who I am, rather than me being like, yeah, I've got to have viral videos and I'm like, oh, in your face sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's trauma, a year's experience, and a lot of inner searching, which is probably is a 3-step process, isn't it, really?
You just done quick, sell it.
Bottle that up.
So you mentioned trauma. You mean you sort of accepted it and healed from it? Is that part of the 3 steps?
Yeah, I think, oh my gosh, we're calling it a 3-step process now, aren't we?
Yeah.
I love it.
By the
Okay,
time we finished it, we branded and everything.
oh gosh. I think the trauma of opinions of people is a lot. And through the years, like having people say what they think, comment what they think behind your back, all of that can really dent your confidence, and you really take it to heart, especially having what you think is your friends that are not really your friends say things behind my back and you find out later and stuff like that. But I think also just like really understanding what it is. Like, I do love to sing, but then I also don't want to sing songs that I don't enjoy. So there's that. And really like finding out, just because you've got a talent in something, if you want to use it in a certain way, that's still valid. Where there's a lot of people have an opinion of, oh, but you're a great singer, you should be famous, you should be doing this. But actually, that's what they want for me, not what I want for me. But what I want for me is still okay. If I want to do a regular gig once a month and I enjoy it at one venue and nothing else, like that's still valid. So I think really sorting through those thoughts and listening to other people that you trust, journaling them out, having a bit of therapy, and just finding who you are and what you want to do with your talent is part of the traumatic process you have to go through, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in anything in life, and definitely in business, everybody's got an opinion about what you should do. If you say anything, it's like, oh, you should do this. You should do this. If you did everything that people told you should do, your head would be spinning off your shoulders. It's just overwhelming. And the experts telling you this is the answer, which is why your approach is essential, really. You've got to do what suits you and follow your own path and do it your own way. And yeah, completely on board with all of that. Little birdie tells me that you've recently launched a YouTube channel.
I have. Oh, I've been putting it off for years.
Now, why? What was that all about? Why do you think? Was it just busy? I mean, that's an excuse. It's an excuse.
Yeah,
Come on.
Excuse.
I think you do it years ago.
It is an excuse. Okay, I think that I had the big excuse of I'm just present everywhere else. I don't need to be present on everything. But I think also I really wanted to do it right, which is something I always tell my clients doesn't matter. So again, it's like you need to take my own advice. But I think I was kind of like, if I show up somewhere and start doing something, I want to be consistent at it. So until I'm ready to have a couple in the bank and kind of be just like, okay, I've got a couple prepped, let's keep going. I just put it off. I've had it for like 2 years. I've had the channel for 2 years. That's awful, isn't it? And no. I recently, I was listening to a book that my sister recommended called Big Magic. I'm sure it's Elizabeth Gilbert, I want to say. Don't quote me. And one of the opening lines, if I can remember it, is, do you have the courage to pull out the bits of magic that are inside of you And if you don't, like, those bits of magic just go to somebody else because they exist. So the ideas always exist. And if you're not the first person to kind of go, that's my idea, I'm going to act on it, then it just floats by and goes to somebody else. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, I've got this idea for this YouTube channel. And yeah, it's been done probably by loads of people, but not my way. So actually, I've got this idea floating about, and I'm going to have the courage. And it was all those things coming together that made me go, right, okay, let's just do it. Let's just get it done. And I've got to say, like, I'm enjoying the pace of it as well. I think that social media content moves so fast, but with YouTube, because I'm like, I'm going to put one video out a week and I'm going to put my all into that video, and I'm going to just sit back and wait 3 to 4 months for it to pick up, and that's okay. Like, I don't need it to be viral straight away. I'm like so enjoying that, and I'm sitting in it, and it feels good. Feels like the creative process is back. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Oh, brilliant. I think that's so valid. You can't do everything all at once.
Yeah.
There's too much nonsense out there saying that you should be on every platform. You can't be. Like, the big companies with 30 people, 100 people in the marketing department, they're not on every channel. So I think that's perfectly valid that you've waited. But moving before you're ready as well or moving before you feel like you're ready is painful. Because like doing these conversations, starting the vidcast, I thought, oh, I've done this a million times. I've been on 1,000 podcasts. I'm a chatty person. I can talk to anyone. And then the first one I recorded, it was like, oh, I have not done this before. And it was clunky and I didn't start it off properly and I'm forgetting to do things. It's really annoying because you want to be bang on, perfect the first time, or brilliant at least. You're not perfect, but brilliant.
Yeah. A little bit brillianter than perfect, at least. But it's true. I think that if we just waited for it to be like absolutely polished as one person without a massive big production team, like, there's no way that it would happen like that. And actually, I love looking back at content that I've done like years ago and actually cringing, because back then I thought that was brilliant. I was like, this is so good. This is great. This is going to get me loads of clients. And then I'm like, this is getting archived because it's awful. But I think that that's the case with everything. So even stuff that I'm like, this is top standard now, in a couple of years and things have moved on, it's not going to be top standard. The standard's always rising. I just think it's about having that grace and giving yourself permission to just do it, just get it done and figure it out and fine tune it and tweak it, as you go along, as is how I run my life anyway. Just keep going and tweak it as you go along.
Oh, so true. I did, it was 6-ish years ago now. I did the Secret Marketing Show, which was like a sketch show, 2 seasons, 2 short seasons of a sketch show. And I was dressing up as characters and putting on silly voices, and I was having a whale of a time. And it did bring me leads. And at the time, I thought I was a genius. I was like, I am a comedy genius. I have this knack for editing that is just, and I look back now, they're awful. They are so long and self-indulgent. Like, they are not good.
But at the time, I bet they were good. That was the version of good that everyone wanted at the time.
That was good feedback at the time. But now I'm like, oh goodness. Yeah, because I thought I must repurpose these. I spent so much time and I try and repurpose them. There's just nothing there that I can use. So you live and learn. You absolutely live and learn. A conversation that I had with somebody once, and it was about that period when I was doing the Secret Marketing Show and I was mucking about online. And this woman, I had a discovery call with her, and she came across online really serious. She would share the odd photo, but never smiling in the photo. And her tone of voice was really serious, and she didn't share any graphics. There was just no colour or personality. And she said, I would love to appear online a bit more like you because I am a fun person. I love having a laugh. I love joking and that kind of thing. I was like, gosh, I would not get that from your content. So if a person is in that situation where they're not matching up, their personality is not coming across on screen, what would you say to them? What advice would you have?
I think that my first question would be, why do you show up like that? What's the reason for you creating content? Or is it a fear thing? Are they scared to show up how they maybe are, like, off screen? Is it something deeper than I just don't feel like showing up like that. But also, I think I would write down on a piece of paper like who I actually wanted people to think I was. See if that lines up with who I actually am, because I do think you need to have authenticity as to how you market yourself as well. Otherwise, the cracks just show, don't they? And then I think I would just practice and test out a couple of bits that align with what I'd written down. So if I'd written I want to be more chatty, like how can I put that into my content? Is that tone of voice? Is that how I write my copy? Is that just doing an off the cuff story or going live or something? Like how can I implement those bits? I don't think you have to just have a complete personality overhaul, brand overhaul to all of a sudden be more like somebody that you admire. There are bits and pieces you can take from the way that people market themselves that align with who you are. I was once told that I'm very Marmite. You either love me or you hate me. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, like someone said I dressed up like these characters. And I was like, this is just genuinely how I dress. Like, thanks, you know.
Your wacky clothes and your weird glasses. Oh, who would wear that?
I need glasses to see. And I actually I have 5 wardrobes full of vintage clothes. This is actually who I am. It's not like I put on 3 outfits and I'm just that, you know. And I think, yeah, it's sort of like looking at, okay, so if people think that I'm weird, that's okay. Like, I obviously don't care what people think anyway, because that's who I am. But how can I come across in this way or that way? And how do other weird creators put themselves across in doing that research and taking little bits and pieces? And I would like to say that how I am online is how I am offline as well. I'm also very nutty and like a laugh and singing and dancing. But there's also a really vulnerable, serious side to me that you probably wouldn't see online, because I'm not the kind of influencer that cries about the no milk for the cereal. I'm not that kind of person either. So I think you can always show different parts of your personality, and you don't have to show them all to be authentic and to be like a real person. You can still choose to show bits and pieces online.
Yeah, you make a good point. We've got so many facets to a personality, and we're not happy or go lucky all the time, or not serious all the time, or whatever you're showing up as. I think however you are showing up, it's got to be you on some level, because otherwise you are attracting people who you might not enjoy working with.
Yeah.
They might not like you. Like you mentioned the word Marmite. I think everybody's Marmite. Like nobody likes everyone.
No.
And there's like a national treasure, and you think, oh, who could not like that person? You will meet people who do not like that person.
Apart from if it's David Attenborough, because who doesn't like David Attenborough? Come on, he's like the king. Tell me I'm wrong.
We've got to find somebody who hates David Attenborough. There'll be somebody.
No,
There'll be somebody who hates
my
him.
poor heart can't take it. Oh, I love him. But yeah, it's true, isn't it? I kind of have that in the back of my mind. Sometimes I'm like, I'm okay. It's safe for not everyone to like me. You know, I am not for everybody. But I think that naturally we want to be liked, don't we? We want to put things out there. We want people to go, you're all right, I like you. I like your services. And that can sometimes influence like who you are and how and why you show up as who you are, what parts of you are willing to show, because you're scared of that judgment.
Yeah, I think that's, going back to your question, your theoretical question you were posing that person, why aren't you showing up more in alignment with your personality?
Yeah.
It's probably fear of judgment. And if I'm hiding most of myself and people don't like it, fine, because it's a shell. It's not really me. But if I show up as me and people say I'm ridiculous or frivolous or silly or wrong or ugly or whatever you're worried about, it's far more vulnerable. It's far scarier. And I think that's behind a lot of people's problems with social media and the wranglings they have with social media and being online in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
It's scary, isn't it?
It's a big wide world out there.
And the bigger you get, it seems to be the more people attack.
Yeah.
There's a threshold. I've seen it with several people I'm connected with. They're getting more attention, more reach. And then that's good. And they're getting fans. And then it goes over, oh, actually, some people disagree with you. And then the next level is, you're hideous, go away, you're stupid, you don't know anything you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like the more experienced they are, the more haters they get. And
yeah. And I think that's where step 2 of the 3-step process, the finding out who you are, like that bit, I think if you're really solid in that bit, if you ever do get to that level, that is the bit that you can just focus on, and what is in front of you, you can be like, okay, what is real? What is in front of me right now? What can I touch? I can touch the desk that I'm on, the ground that I'm on, and like just really coming back to that moment that's not everyone's opinions and like everything flying everywhere, because it's so easy to get caught up in that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna walk out my house and like get egged, someone's gonna find me, and realistically nothing's gonna happen. We build it up in our heads so much more than it actually is. But if you've got that really strong inner knowing that you can come back to and keep developing, because it's not like you just get it and then all of a sudden you're bulletproof, but if you can keep coming back to that, then it is a little bit better, easier. But it's never ever going to be easier, is it? Because people can be warriors with what they write on social media.
Yeah, I have heard that if you are rock solid with who you are and you're accepting of all the pros and cons of who you are, if somebody attacks you for a facet of your personality, it's just like, yeah, I am like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's your issue? Like, if I'm quite short. If somebody said, "Oh, you're very short," I'll be like, "Yes, I am."
Yeah. Yay! And that takes power out of it, doesn't it? Because then they're like, "Oh, you're not bothered. All right, we've got to find."
Oh, you're a bit of a show off. Oh, look at you being silly on video. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for noticing.
Yay! It's working.
So let us now talk about your fabulous library with over 700 Canva templates.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen any of G's work, click on the link that will be in the show notes or somewhere around this video and marvel at the breadth and diversity of the designs she creates. It's just gorgeous. So how does it work? People sign up. Is it a monthly subscription?
So you can either get 3 months as a subscription, then that renews every 3 months, or you can pay for the year and you basically get access. So because there is so many, I wouldn't expect anybody to just use like 700 in one month, basically. So you get 3 months access. You can access all the Canva links within that 3 months. And then there's new templates added every 3 months as well. I think we're close to like 800 now, but 700 is still on all the marketing stuff, so I've left it at that. And they are all for service-based businesses, so they won't work if you are e-com or have a product. But yeah, they're all for service-based and they're all categorized beautifully, so you can go in, find out what you need, click and just tweak the colors and post them. They're hopefully going to make your life so much easier.
What do you mean by categorized? Like themes, or I want to do a sales post, I want to do a...
Yes.
Give me some other examples.
Yeah, exactly that. There's sales posts, there's posts that help position you as an expert, there's posts that help solve problems in there, there's carousels, there's Instagram stories, there's memes. What else we got? There's podcast promotional graphics, for example, as well. There's pretty much everything I can think of. And if there isn't, I'll create it and put it in. Basically, if someone says, oh, actually, I need this, I'll be like, okay, cool, we'll do that.
So you could almost go in there, if you had no inspiration one week, you could go in there and be inspired.
Yes, there are some sample content plans as well that are coming to the library as part of it. So you'll open one of those and it'll tell you which templates in which packs to pull in, and it'll give you like a content plan for the month. So it's even going to be easier, less decisions to make as well. You can just follow that.
Awesome. Well, definitely go and have a look at that. rayofsocial.com/the-templates. But you've also got a freebie. If you're not ready to take the plunge in the library, you've got a freebie which talks about creating content with more confidence, which is good for the majority of people, I'd have thought. rayofsocial.com/the voice. Tell me more about that, please. What should people do?
So I was on The Voice, which is why it's called The Voice.
Right. I did that sort of thing when I was reading that out. I was like, oh, okay.
So yeah, it basically just touches on my journey on the show and how it helped me create content with more confidence.
Oh, super. Oh, so I should have really have watched that, read that before interviewing you, because, you know,
Okay.
I might not have asked half the questions. But then other people wouldn't have heard about it. G, thank you so much for being on the show off. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I look forward to hearing the feedback from all the lovely people who are going to listen to this and watch it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I am continuing to show off for the rest of my life.
Hurrah!
You have witnessed the show off with Janine Coombs. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button and share with your friends. For more episodes, go to janinecoombs.co.uk/show off.